Hey, church family, welcome to Ask Pastor Chris. This is the time when I answer your questions. They can be questions from our year of the Bible. We're reading through the Bible in 2026. If you want to participate in that, you can go to knoll.org/YOTB. It stands for Year of the Bible. You can get the plan there, all that. And so this is something where I'm taking questions. It can be from the Year of the Bible reading, as will be the case today, or it can be questions that you just have, and you've always had these questions and you never asked them, and you want to ask them. And so I'll take questions on whatever you got. Just happy to help. I don't promise. I say this in all the videos. I don't promise that I can answer every question or that I'm going to answer every question, but I do promise that I will do my best. So I got two questions today that I think are fun and I'm excited about reading. And so here's the first question. So we're in the Psalms currently in our reading, and so this is related to that. It says, what does Selah mean in the Psalms? And that's a great question. If you're reading through the Psalms, you'll see that sometimes you'll get a little bit of text, and then a break, and it says Selah kind of off to the side, and then more reading, and some of them will have like multiple Selahs throughout, and it's like, what does that mean? And are we supposed to read that when we're reading through the text? Are we supposed to say Selah and then go back to it? Or what is that, and what does that mean? And the shortest, most honest answer is we don't 100% know. Scholars don't know exactly with pinpoint accuracy what Selah means, but we do have some inclinations or we do have a decent idea. It was probably some kind of musical term, worship instruction that meant something like take a breath, take a pause, a moment to reflect. It was probably something like that. Because remember, the Psalms, many of them were not meant to be read. Many of them were sung, right? And so that's why on some of the songs you see like instructions for the choir master, you know what I mean? Like to the tune of, and that kind of thing. Like, hey, here's how we do that. And so Selah was probably like hey, we're gonna read this stanza or sing this stanza, and then we're gonna pause, and maybe there's a musical interlude, or maybe there's a moment of reflection, and then we go on to the next thing. That is probably most likely what Selah means. But again, we don't 100% know, but that's scholars, that's their best best thinking around what that means, and that makes a lot of sense. So hope that helps. Okay, next question. It says, who is the family of Korah, and why do they have multiple psalms dedicated to them? That's a great question, right? When we read through the Psalms, right, there are multiple authors of different Psalms throughout the book of Psalms. 150 Psalms, a lot of Psalms, and it's a lot of authors, right? And so many of the Psalms were written by David, King David, but not all of them, right? And so even Moses, I think, has a Psalm. I think Psalm 90 is a Psalm of Moses. And so this collection of Psalms for Israel and ultimately for us. But many of those Psalms are they mention the sons of Korah, and it's like the question is, well, who are these people and how are they connected to the Psalms? So here is who they are. They are a family of Levitical worship leaders, right? They were a family that was involved in temple worship, and so many of these psalms were written by them. But here's what's interesting, right? The sons of Korah, we've met these people before earlier in the text. In I believe it's Numbers 16, right? Korah is mentioned as the leader of a rebellion, and he and his family rebelled against Moses. I think that was Numbers 16, right? And so there's Korah's rebellion, right? And then God judges that family for this sinful rebellion, and it says that the earth opened and swallowed them all up. But then in Numbers 26, we learn that not all of the sons of Korah died. And so those sons would eventually go on to be involved in liturgical worship for the nation of Israel and would be many of the songwriters. And I kind of love that, right? Because I feel like in a lot of ways, that's a beautiful picture of the gospel, right? That it's like that this redemption arc for the family of Korah. Yes, there was sin and rebellion, but that would not be that family's final story. There's a redemption arc there, and I love that idea. Just that the message and the hope of the gospel for us is that, right, that our family story isn't our final story. You know what I mean? That it's like that as we follow Christ and as we can experience forgiveness of sin and healing and growth and change, and we can become the people that God created us to be. And I just think that is beautiful and amazing and wonderful, and I hope that's encouraging to you. So as you read the Psalms, right, and you encounter Selah as you read the Psalms, I hope that's an encouragement to you to pause, to rest, to reflect, to worship. And then as you read through the Psalms and you encounter the family of Korah, I hope that that's a reminder to you, right, that your family story is not your final story, right, that God is still at work in you and through you, and your redemption arc is possible and in front of you. And so just continue to follow Jesus. All right. Love you guys. Grateful for you. Hey, don't forget to send your questions in. If you got a question, you can send it to knoll.org/askpastorchris. All right, guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye. See you Sunday.